2 in a row. How good is this feeling right now?
It's feeling really good. You know, it's giving us a chance to get into the conference tournament for sure, because Western, I think, was one of the teams that we knew we had to beat to ensure our tournament chances, although nothing's set in stone yet. It's given us a lot of momentum also going, you know, on this road trip in the next 2 weeks. We got Denver at home, then Omaha and South Dakota State, so that's good. And the biggest thing would be just getting some confidence back before Sioux Falls.
Chris, same for you, 2 straight. You kind of set the tone tonight and scored in the first half. How good were you feeling tonight?
I felt pretty good tonight. I knew what we had to do to win the game. Had to play defense, bottom line. You know, so that's what we've been struggling on all year. And I know we're a really good team. We can play really good. We just got to start on defensive end and make that important so we can win the rest of these games.
How do you get the mentality of trying to finish the team off? Because tonight you looked like you were going to, and then things kind of fell apart for a while.
Well, it's about toughness. You gotta be tough to win either at home or on the road to finish the game. Because nobody's gonna quit. You know, Division I level, everybody is fighting. So you got to be tough to know the team and want it more, and lock down, do the little things, the important things, and win the game at the end.
Albert, you're a pretty calm, cool, collected guy, but I mean, through the second half, you were down and dunk, and I saw you start yelling. How good did that feel?
It felt good. You know, I talked to, I don't know if you guys know Helen, but she's a team psychologist, I guess you could say, sports psychologist. And, you know, she was just telling me and all the guys really that we got to remember while we're here, you know, and got to remember to be confident in everything. And so about halfway through the second half, I felt like I wasn't getting some of the calls that I should have gotten. So I just decided to take it on my own hands and just, you know, play like I know I can play. And just don't worry about anything else. So you kind of get into a zone.
Chris, how fun is it to watch him do what he's done over the last 4 games and kind of control the post like he has?
This is great. I love it. You know, I know how good he is, how good he can be. And when I see him succeed, it just brings energy to the team and fires me up. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be playing with him for the next couple of years. So, you know, that's real important to me, to get him going. When you get him going, he's unstoppable in the league.
You know, the last homestand, Omaha and IPFW, you know, those games kind of fell apart down in the end. Confidence-wise, you know, when you guys hit the 3-minute mark, where's that confidence at in a game like this?
Well, Coach told us at the media timeout, you know, that if you get 3 stops, you'll win the game. I think we let them score on the next possession, but after that, we got 2 or 3 in a row. And that was really good, you know, to seal the game, because then we have to shoot free throws after fouls because we're ahead. So it felt really good to just know that all the practice we've been doing over the last couple of weeks is, you know, really starting to come in, and we were able to get to the key stops when we needed them.
A win is a win, but you also have a game next Friday against Denver. What do you want to improve on? Because there were some issues per se, kind of in the second half. And what do you want to correct?
I think most of our issues in the second half today came from just not being focused, not really anything that we were doing from a coaching or player standpoint. Just stay focused for 40 minutes like we did against IUPUI in the second half. And I guess the most important thing against Denver would just be really keying in, because they run a different type of basketball than most people in the league with the Princeton offense in their matchup zone. So we really have to key in on that type of stuff this week in the scouting report, in practice and everything, if we want to win and beat them on our home floor.
Well, it was a tough game. I mean, obviously we started out great. I was a little bit concerned. I thought we made, in pregame talk, and I just thought our guys' body language was a little bit, not down, but just not as excited. Didn't have the energy that we had Thursday night, so we kind of challenged them a little bit, and they came out and obviously played terrific the first 5 minutes, and built a 15-point lead. And you know, Western, they're just like us. They're having to play desperate, and then Billy does a great job with them. They obviously came in with a ton of confidence, you know, winning their last 2 games, and we knew we couldn't. I didn't think we could put them away like we did the other night, but I certainly didn't think that they could get back in the game like they did. But you know what? With us winning, I can look back and say it's good to win this type of game, because we've lost 3 of these in a row. We lost Omaha, the game similar to this. We lost Fort Wayne, similar game. We lost North Coast State, very similar game. And to be able to win like this, and I've always said this, I think it really gives your guys confidence and a sense of toughness to be able to win in crunch time. So after, obviously I would have loved to have a comfortable lead, but after you win the game, sometimes you can go look back and say, hey, this was probably good for us.
I was asking Albert about midway through the second half. As far as I've always seen, he's always appeared to be kind of a cool, collected guy on the court, and then he threw down that dunk and just kind of started yelling.
Oh, he's he doesn't show his emotion very often, but he does at times, and he needs to play that way, because you can tell when he's going, and he's hard to stop. But he's still very young, and probably a little bit immature on the floor. Off the floor, is very, very mature young man. Obviously, terrific young man. But I think he gets down on himself instead of fighting through it at times. And sometimes it takes a dunk or a 3-point play to get him going, and that certainly did. And he carried us there for a while.
How'd you feel good about? Making the tournament was kind of, if you had lost this game, the final 3 obviously would have been dicey, but have to feel good about at least.
Well,
we've got
it puts some separation between us and Western, and that's why this game was so big, and that's why they were thinking the same thing. If they can come here and steal one, they fall to 1 game back of us, and they've got a pretty favorable schedule. They got 3 of their final 4 games at home, I believe, and so this was huge. This was huge, and puts us in a position where, I guess we're tied with Denver. South Dakota's 1 game behind us. This league is so much parity, and on a given night, anything can happen. So there's some teams that are ahead of us that could drop. There's some, obviously South Dakota. With them owning the tiebreaker, even though we're a game up on them now, they could overtake us. So the bottom line is, and the most important thing is, continue to try to win games and play well, and just go into Sioux Falls with a lot of momentum and a lot of confidence.
When Obi steps on the court against his old team, you almost have to calm him down when he plays Western, or because it seems like.
Oh, Obi's a mature guy, and I thought the first time last year, you never know how he was going to react, going back and facing the coach that recruited him. But I think he's averaged. The guy's played great every game we played against.
Right.
He didn't shoot the ball particularly well tonight, but he scored a bunch of points all 4 games we played against him.
In the first couple minutes, you went on a 14-0 run, and then kind of fell off a little bit. What happened? Was it cold shooting, or was it focus, like the guys said?
Well, I thought our defense first half was really good. We had a couple of defensive breakdowns, and then a couple of things happened that were unfortunate. We make a great defensive play. Obi does what he's supposed to do when you're trying to save a ball underneath the opposing team's basket. Throw it, if you can't get to somebody, throw as far down the floor as you can toward our basket, and just happened to go right to Covington, and he jumps up and hits a shot and gets fouled. And we hold him to 27 points. I thought our defensive effort the first half was terrific, besides a couple of defensive breakdowns. The reason we couldn't put them away, we missed some shots, but you got to give them a lot of credit. They're a very good defensive basketball team. They always have been. The last 6-7 years. And then the second half, I thought would hurt us probably more than anything was losing Brandon to foul trouble. Brandon brings so much energy, and we're at our best, especially on the defensive end, when Brandon is playing with that energy and passion, and like he played with Thursday night. And I thought that hurt our team tonight in the second half.
And you had mentioned this a couple games ago where you had Albert kind of sit out for a little bit, but tonight he pulled 21 points, 7 boards, and 5 blocks. I mean, you must be pretty happy with those numbers.
Well, I mean, Albert's played, I think ever since we kind of set him against Omaha, he's really matured. He's really grown up. He's starting to figure things out. I think he's starting to understand how hard he has to play. And he's had several really good games in a row, and he's had great practices. So he's come a long ways in, a little over, was it been 2 weeks or 3 weeks? And he's starting to develop and play like, the player that we thought he could become, a dominant post player in our league. And, tonight was just another, step in that direction, getting 21 points. He's starting to rebound. His last 2 games, he had 8 rebounds Thursday night, 7 tonight. He needs to do a little bit better job on the offensive glass. But, he's a presence inside, and he protects when he's active and engaged, he protects the paint. And, getting 5 blocks, alternating probably 5 more, and that's what we need out of him.